Welcome to the Avalan video guide for the Pioneer BDP-LX52 Blu-ray disc player. We're going to talk through the features of this unit, its setup menus and its connections. The new BDP-LX52 is a new Pioneer player with BD Live, has 1 gig of USB expandable internal memory for BD Live content, and also has multi-channel PQLS, that's precision quartz locking system, for jitter-reduced audio playback over HDMI when matched with a PQLS Pioneer receiver such as the VSX LX52. Moving to the front of the unit here, you can see the power buttons and the usual stop-start navigation buttons. So it's a very, very high gloss panel on the front of the unit. There's the tray, centre loading tray in the middle of the unit, and the open close button on the right hand side, and then the large silver play button on the bottom right of the unit. Moving into the rear of the unit now, you can see the network ports for the BD Live functionality and firmware updates, the USB to expand BD storage content, and of course the HDMI out, with the RS232 port there for custom install purposes. You've got the SPDIF and audio output, and then your analog video outs. You see the main fan of the unit there, and the figure of 8 power connection on the right hand side as we're looking at it. It's the left hand side as you're looking at the front of the unit. Okay, now it's time to take you under the lid of the Pioneer BDP-LX52. Moving to the internal part of the BDP-LX52 now. So you look at the main power board on the left hand side as we see it. Moving into that now, it's the orange board. You see all the main capacitors for the unit. Move up to the rear, see another one there. And then across the back, you see the fan and then the video processing board. Just there. Coming into shot now. So there's the video processing board, and you see the first thing that will catch your eye there, obviously you've got the HDMI out on the back. But it's the large sort of heatsink over the main processor for the unit, large silver one there, the RS232 connection above that of course, and then the SD card at the front, which is the 1 gig of storage expandable via USB, and a centre mounted disc tray to help reduce vibration. Moving on to the menus of the unit now. First off, you go into the setup navigator, which starts when you boot up this unit. This can be redone later if you decide to change any of the settings, which we'll see. You start off with language, obviously, which we'll set to English, and then you've got the video and audio outputs. We'll set that to video because we've not got HDMI input directly onto our camera, which is how we can bring that onto this video guide for you. We'll just set the audio to digital audio for you, and then it asks you to set the aspect ratio for the screen, so whether it's 16:9 or 4:3. Normally, obviously, you'd set everything as HDMI, because it's a Blu-ray player. You're not going to get high definition content on a composite video cable. But once that's then done, go into the initial setup menu there, and there stuff is the video settings. So you've got the aspect ratio, which again you saw are still in the original setup navigator. Which you can alter again here. The 4:3 video out, full on normal. That's obviously grayed out at the moment, and then NTSC on power, I'll turn that off or on. Audio output, a lot of these will, or some of these will be grayed out, but not so much because as the previous video you may have seen the 320, because I've said it's digital audio here, you still get all of these digital audio options, including the way the outputs, DTS and Dolby Digital. HDMI settings, obviously more of these are grayed out because we had to set to analog video, but you've got the high-speed transmission on or off the colour space as to RGB or component, and then the audio output as PCM or bitstream. Link if you've got a Kiro display, such as the KRP600A, fantastic screen. And then there's that PQLS at the bottom there as well, multi-channel PQLS on this unit if you want jitter-reduced audio playback over HDMI when paired with a compatible receiver such as the VSX VSX-LX52, excuse me. Then you've got your network settings, which are quite simple to do. You literally just type in the IP address from the remote control on the numbers there, so we just do 192 and then hop out of that. Moving from there, you can then set up to use a proxy server if you're using that or not, and the network configuration as well, on which just displays the network configuration there, sorry. And then a connection test. We've not got the LAN cable plugged in, so obviously the connection test is going to fail, as you'll see in just a second. There we go. The various language settings obviously are fairly self-explanatory, which we'll move into now, but it's just the default for the audio and the subtitles on the discs. Just run through those, and it's just a priority. Obviously we're going to leave all of these on English, because that's the language that we speak. But moving out of there into the playback options, you can see the type of still image displayed, the secondary angle or secondary video indicator on or off, the DVX registration code, the video on demand registration code, which is fairly commonplace now. Most of the new Blu-ray players are coming with these. So you just pop that up and it just shows you, and it tells you to, there you go, there's the link to go to the DVX website. And the priority playback for hybrid discs, and BDMDV and BDAV playback priority as well. Moving out of here, we're moving to the data management section. So you can deal with the internal memory management of the unit. You can erase certain data. Obviously this is expandable via USB, but this just shows the remaining area. Obviously is 0.9 gig of the 1 gig stick that's in there at the moment. We've not got any data on there at the moment, but then you can erase applications and then format the storage, which obviously we don't have to do because there's nothing on there at the moment. And then you've got back to the setup navigator again, which we saw earlier, but again you can run that through from the start if you wish. Just compiling data screen, it will just pop up in a second. And again, obviously we're familiar with that because we saw that at the beginning of the video, and then if you've seen any of the other Pioneer Blu-ray player videos, then you would have seen that as well. Your parental lock, your age limit, password's quite easy to set, but you've got, obviously if you've got children you don't want them to be seeing certain things, you can just pop in a password that they're not going to guess. Just a 4-digit password. And then the options is similar. The option menu is similar to the initial setup, but broken down into a few individual bits. So you've got the output terminal there. That's one of the first things and probably the most important one on the initial setup as to which one to use. Obviously normally you'd have them both on HDMI. On-screen display, on or off, screensaver on or off, auto power off, on or off, and then you can update the software over LAN here, but we're not connected to the network, so we can't do that. And then we move out of here, just the final screen is the update info and instructions, which also shows you the current firmware version. Okay, thanks for watching. I hope you've enjoyed the video guide to the Pioneer BDP-LX52 Blu-ray disc player. If you'd like to see the rest of the Pioneer range or see some more video reviews, then please visit our website www.avland.co.uk. Thanks very much.